My name is Jennifer Piarkey. I am the SAFHER project manager at the Association of Food and Drug Officials, or AFDO. Welcome to the first episode for the Road to SAFHER, which will be chronicling the progress and key aspects of the SAFHER platform. Each of these episodes will be bite-sized 10-minute conversations to fit into your busy schedules. In today's episode, we're going to cover the SAFHER origin story. And to help me to do this today, I've invited Rich Medina from the Colorado Department of Agriculture. So, hi, Rich. How are you?
Hi, Jenny. I'm great, thanks.
Did you want to share with our viewers or our listeners what it is that you do for the Colorado Department of Agriculture?
Sure. I am the Director of Technology for the Colorado Department of Agriculture.
Awesome. Thank you. So today we're talking about the origin of SAFHER, but I think first we probably need to tell our audience what SAFHER is. What does it stand for?
Sure. I'd be happy to do that since it was my idea from the beginning. So, state, agriculture, food, safety, health, E, inspections, and the R stands for rich because I came up with the idea. Actually, the R is for registrations, I think.
I think we might need to revisit SAFHER. SAFHER is an acronym. That is correct. But the letters actually stand for System for Agriculture, Food, Health, E-inspections, and registration. So can you share with our listeners why did we include, food, health, E-inspections, registration? Where does that all come from? What's that concept?
Well, we actually, when we looked at all the things that we were trying to lay out a future strategic direction for, we found a lot of things in common between food, health, safety, agriculture. There's a lot of commonalities there, and the way we regulate those, there's a lot of commonalities. In the end, after we had done a lot of research, we found out that there's about, not only do we have a lot of overlap between those different things we regulate, but the states that regulate all of those things have about an 84% overlap in the things we do. So tons of reasons to do it the way we did.
Yes, we wanted to include all those partners and entities. So now that we have an idea what SAFHER is, and SAFHER, of course, is a IT platform that has yet to actually be developed in the sense that you can't log in and use it right now. But where did SAFHER come from? Why did we need SAFHER?
When I started at the Colorado Department of Agriculture, we had been going down a strategic direction. So we were engaged with a previous vendor that developed the AgriGuard suite of products. So there were several states that were using them. As time went on, and we started learning more and more, not only about the vendor, but about the platform, it became pretty apparent that was not going to work. And then eventually, the vendor that was supporting it and built it ended up to cease that activity, largely because the platform itself was built for one state. It was not built for many states, what we call multi-tenant platforms. And it did not have the flexibility built in it that we need for a system today. So all of those things happened with the last one being the vendor deciding that they're no longer going to support or develop that environment. So they were basically leaving it. When that happened, it was a big, oh no, for the state of Colorado. And I think for a lot of other states was we need to find something else.
Yes, absolutely. And being from a state that was a USA food safety state at the time, and still is, yes, we understood the immediate need that we needed to have something after USA food safety, and that we were looking for the future and what was going to be next. So can we get into a little bit more about the SAFHER platform itself? What is it going to provide to our state partners, our state agency partners that our current systems do not provide?
Sure, Jenny. So when we started getting to the vision of what SAFHER would become, there was a lot of discussion, not only amongst CIOs and IT directors at state departments of ag, but with the business folks that run those programs. And that's really where the direction, the discussion, the decisions on what it looks like has to stay. The technology can stay with the technology folks. So how it's accomplished, but the what is really with the business. And so when we started talking about that, the part about how it functions and how we regulate was directed by the business folks. But the technology side, we have the experience already with systems like this to understand that these systems have to be very flexible. They have to be what we term today low code or no code type systems, which is what most modernized systems are built with today, including customization. So that you can have a single platform that supports many different entities, in this case, many different states, that allows each state to do the unique things that they need to do to regulate it effectively, efficiently.
So what kind of programs would be on SAFHER? I mean, is it a animal food program, a human food program? Is it other programs? And who would be a SAFHER user?
It would. I mean, those are all good examples. I would also include, we have a pesticide applicator program in Colorado that would fit really nicely on here. So programs like lab programs as well are a very good candidate to come onto this platform, because we all do a lot of similar things, and it's really important for these different programs to be able to share information. That helps us to be much more effective. And when you get on a modernized platform that has information coming in that supports many different entities within an agency that is regulating, now you've got power of business intelligence and other things that you can bring to bear. You have dashboards that provide you real-time information that's much more effective and efficient than we have today on the legacy systems that a lot of states have.
I know in past conversations the two of us have had about this, you have said, though, that SAFHER isn't an end-all be-all. Like, not every single program necessarily should be on SAFHER. And can you explain to our listeners why that is, or pros and cons about it?
Sure. It's the concept of all your eggs in one basket, I think. So when you're all in with one vendor for everything you do, if something happens to that system or that vendor, you're in trouble. You're kind of all down. So there's a lot of things I know in departments of agriculture that you regulate. There's a lot of things in food safety departments that you regulate that maybe aren't such a good fit with the registration, inspection, enforcement, reporting structure of what we're building today. So it does capture and encompass a lot of it, but not everything. So accounts payable, accounts receivable applications would really not fit so well into this. I'm trying to think of the different applications we have. Some of them are just very unique programs for something, and it doesn't fit well with the stuff that would go within SAFHER. So it's not a great match. So you look at those one by one and make a determination. But like I said, I think it can encompass a lot of things. It doesn't have to. Some things run pretty well the way they are, and that's okay. But it provides an off-ramp from an older legacy system onto this platform, should it be necessary at some point in time.
Yeah, and we've talked a lot about through the development of SAFHER and the idea of SAFHER that there's a lot of integration with other systems that needs to happen, which I think is to your point that, it's not an accounting system. SAFHER is not going to be necessarily a payment system as far as revenue and such, but we would interface with those other systems. going back to some other origin pieces is, who oversees SAFHER? I mean, how did SAFHER become something that a lot of states bought into?
Well, once we initiated everything, when I came together with Steve Mandernack at AFTO as the executive director, and we basically got the ball rolling, it was really important to bring together a governing council of multiple states, because it was set up perfectly to be a collaborative effort, which benefits all of us. And there's great expertise and experiences from all the states. So we formed 3 different boards of user groups, one from food safety, one from a plants user group, and one from CIOs at departments that support these. And these folks became the governing council. And now, since that time, the governing council has spent years and millions of dollars determining what this has to look like. What does this have to be for something that will support my business as an individual state into the long term? And so, we hired a consultant that helped us with that. It did a lot of work, and we paid him a lot of money to do that. We had a phase of the project we called the discovery phase. And in that phase, we not only looked at what the requirements of a system would be, but we looked at the different technologies that could make that happen. We looked at the stakeholders and made sure we had inputs from all the different stakeholders. We looked across the different states and found, that's where we got the 84% match on the functionality that we all use. And we talked about the different flexibility a system would have to have in order for it to effectively do what we needed to do. And then also things like procurement. How would we offer other states to be able to procure easily? And then how would we manage it moving forward? There's great benefits with a collaborative effort like this, in that you had a user group that's very strong, and a user group that has a stronger voice has greater influence at both, at mostly the federal level, which is where we get a lot of the things that we have to do in the different states. So there's so many advantages to going down this path, and it feels like it's the right thing to do, working with other states and collaborating, and in the end, saving us all money. So it's much more efficient.
Yeah. Oh, that was great. That was a great answer. And there was a lot of work that has been done in order to get us to this point. So I want to thank you for taking a moment out of your day to come and talk to me about the origins of SAFHER, Rich.
Of course, I could talk about this stuff all day. I love it.
I know. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
So with that, I hope you tune in next time as we talk about some of the things that Rich was sharing. He was talking about our governance. He was talking about a business case. There are many different artifacts and pieces of information that we'll be highlighting through these podcasts, or episodes, I should say. We're not there yet to podcasts, but with these episodes coming into the future. So thank you so much for your time today, and I look forward to seeing you next time.